Hey guys, so I thought it would be maybe a good idea to make a small video, a story kind of, about, like you guys know, about my relapse. You guys know about this, and I thought it'd be interesting to share one of my experiences in my relapse, and it's binge eating. Because for me, binge eating is the worst experience in my relapse so far. Obviously, the restricting days aren't, you know, not something that makes me happy. Sorry, there's like here. Not something that makes me absolutely happy or anything, but the binges I would say would be the worst feelings because it's when you feel like you lose control. Um, I've binged eaten a lot over the past 8 months. Binge eating and then restricting, binge eating and then restricting, going on diets, blah blah blah. Basically, full blown relapse. Not good. And I wanted to share one of my worst experiences because I think it's sometimes good to hear, like I said in the previous videos, just stories and being able to relate. And I want to talk about the binge eating kind of stories, or story, or something that I remember. And since I was doing like OMAD for a while to lose the weight I gained over the holidays from just binge eating, and I was binge eating all day and stuff, I think OMAD gave me, because I would fast all day and then eat in the evening, but since I was so hungry in the evening, I would just kind of binge eat in the evening. And at first it was kind of like fine because I was kind of eating just like, however much I wanted, but make sure like it's not like too much food. And I wouldn't count calories or anything like that, just to make sure I feel good and not too hungry or anything like that. And I would eat healthy foods and stuff. But then eventually it turned into binges where I would eat unhealthy stuff, felt really sick the next day, felt awful. And then those turned into day binges, sometimes 4 days in a row, sometimes 3 days in a row, sometimes over the whole weekend, all day. And I think something like that I would do is, of course, when you binge eat, you feel good when you're eating. You feel like so much pleasure and you're just so happy. But after you're done, you feel guilty. So you go and you sit down and you're all pouty. I mean, I was like that. And then I would go binge again because I still was not like to the point where I could physically not eat anymore. And until I physically could not eat anymore and like I felt pain and like I can't stuff any food, the day was over. I would often go to my room and just sit down on the floor and literally just cry. Like, it makes me upset now because like it's so emotionally hard. Like, I would sit here on this floor or lay down because sometimes I would be so much in pain. And it was crazy because like I did this to myself. Like, I'm sorry. Okay. Because I don't want to like be all like, I want to be able to talk. Like, I stuffed so much food in myself that I can't even like move. I can't do anything. I can't like, there was a week where I would binge like every day. I didn't do school that week. I didn't do anything. I just ate and I wasted so much time. I wasted so much food. I wasted so much just things I could have enjoyed. I came to my room and I just was on the floor crying like all day. Like, just for hours. Sometimes I would binge closer to the nighttime, like 12 o'clock midnight, and I couldn't sleep because of that. I couldn't sleep because I felt so sick and I felt so awful and there's nothing I can do and I want to go do something. I'm like, but there's nothing I can do, and all I can do is just sit and wait until the feeling is over, until the next day comes, until I can start again, until I can start restricting again, lose the weight again. And I'm like, okay, it's gonna be better, but then I fall into it again. And I think that those were one of the worst things in my relapse. Like, those nights, sometimes I don't even want to remember. just, I would turn on, like, sad music sometimes, because, like, I sometimes felt like I couldn't cry and I needed to, and I felt like I lost control. I felt like such a failure, and that's one of the days when you just don't want to even live anymore. You're just like, why am I here? I feel like a pig. I feel like why do I even do this to myself? You're basically, like, torturing yourself, and that's the worst feeling, because when you lose control, you feel like you're torturing yourself. You feel like you wasted time. You feel like a failure. You feel alone and depressed, and then you want to isolate yourself from anyone. Obviously, no one's gonna feel good after such, like, an experience. And I don't know, I feel like it's one of the most painful experiences for me. Like, when the days when I restrict, like, I won't feel sad about remembering that, because that's when I feel in control. That's when I feel like I got everything under control. I feel successful. So why would I be upset? Even though it's just as sad as binging. Restricting is just as sad as binging. But since binging is the most, how would you say it? The most awful feeling, one of the most awful feeling, both physical and mental. It's just hard to, I think it's the hardest to talk about for me. When my family was gone in Moldova for a month, I experienced a lot of these binge episodes, and that's when I really felt alone, because I was alone at home all day, and I would binge, and then why did I do this to myself? Why did I lose control? I have no one to talk to. I don't want to, but I want, like, it's like I wanted to talk to somebody. I sometimes felt like I just needed someone to just hug and cry to and talk to and be able to relate to, and sometimes there wasn't. And sometimes you really need someone like that. So when they were back from Moldova, it got a lot better in the fact of binging. Like, I was able to control the binges more. Because I would binge and then I would be able to talk to my mom, to my sister, and just get upset, cry, and they would make me feel better, say that everything will be okay. So you sometimes just need that support. And when they were gone in Moldova, I felt really alone. I felt really depressed. I felt really hopeless. Binge eating, restricting, and all these eating disorders, they suck. They're not fun to go through. If you ever comment on my channel, I want to go through this, or even if you don't comment but you just think, like, I want to go through this, I want to have this, no, you don't. You really don't. If you don't struggle with the eating disorder, thank God, because eating disorders are one of the most difficult mental disorders there are out there. They're one of the most, eating disorders are completely mental. A lot of people think, oh, if she's skinny, underweight, then she has an eating disorder, whatever, blah blah blah, anorexia. No, it's not like that. You could be at any, look, I'm at a healthy weight. I look like, would I look like a person who struggles with an eating disorder if you saw me outside? Probably not. You would be like, I don't know if they have an eating disorder. Unless I'm, like, underweight, then that's when people really like, oh, she probably has an eating disorder. But no, it's not like that. It's a lot of people who don't know about this, they think that, and it's not true. Sorry guys for being a little bit emotional in this video, but anytime I talk about binge eating, I remember those nights, and I can't. Like, I remember I went to watch a competition. This was when my family was in Moldova. We went to watch a competition, and I went with my friends, and there was food there and drinks. I didn't drink, but the food just made me want to. And that day I already started my binge because I had, like, a pint of ice cream, and I felt guilty. The day is already ruined, so I might as well have something there. But they didn't really have a lot of good food there, so on the way back, the competition ended, like, at 1 o'clock in the morning. And because it was a long, like, competitions for jiu-jitsu are really long and at night, So it started like at 7 and it wasn't like an hour away from home. So by the time it was finished, it was like 1 o'clock. And on our way back, me and my friends stopped. I was like, I felt really bad because I was kind of like, I really wanted to get food. Like, I wasn't hungry, obviously, but, it was my binge. It was my cheat day, whatever. And I was like, I need to get food. And we stopped by McDonald's and I got ice cream and I got French fries. And I felt so sick afterwards. I ate it in the car because we got drive-through. I got home and I made myself like a bagel with like bagel sandwich, whatever. And then I came up and I had cheesecake, I think. And then I came up to my room and just cried because it was just an awful feeling and it sucks. But like I said in my other video, you guys aren't alone. I'm not alone. And it's a battle. And talking about it makes me feel better. And I'm sure if you guys have someone you could talk to about it, it will make you feel better as well. So I would definitely recommend to find someone to talk to about it, because once I started talking to my mom about it more, to my sister, I've been better, less binges. I feel so much just being surrounded by people, and it's comforting, You still struggle, but it's a lot more comforting. So I don't know if that, guys, was interesting. I really don't know. This video was supposed to be about binge eating and during my relapse, kind of like stories, but I don't know. I kind of went off track a little bit. I still hope it was interesting enough. So yeah, if you guys liked it, please comment down below. Just anything, what maybe you could relate to. Comment down below what videos you want to see. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!